What's up, everybody? Rails Rants Reloaded. Just came back from watching the new Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Gonna give you a quick review. First of all, like and subscribe and share. If you haven't seen the movie, it's gonna be a couple of spoilers, so you might want to go see the movie and then chime in later. Um, Pretty damn good film. After what was it called? The Last Jedi debacle that I made a video about the day went to see it. Everybody thought that the franchise was finished, the Skywalker saga was finished, but with this Rise of the Skywalker, pretty good. I have to say I appreciate what J.J. Abrams did with what Ryan Johnson fucked up, and it had to take a lot to fill in the pieces, recorrect certain things, and literally come up with a movie that's 2.5 hours long that was pretty decent throughout the whole thing, was good throughout the whole thing. Yes, Ray was a Palpatine, this, that, and the third. After the Last Jedi, it you had to be creative with a lot of things, and certain things were kind of cliche, but that's is what we are left with, and I blame Disney for not coming up with a whole trilogy that they had from start to finish instead of just making one movie and then passing it off to another director and making another movie and then passing that off to another director or the same director and just freestyling it instead of having a laid out game plan. Movie, in my opinion, like when I went and seen The Last Jedi, I only seen it once, and then after that, I brought it on Blu-ray just because for the culture. And even after I bought it on Blu-ray, I still have not been able to get through that whole movie in one sitting. I still got it on Netflix right now because I was trying to get my wife to watch it. And after the Leia debacle with the ship blowing up and her doing the Mary Poppins thing, she was like, "What the fuck is this?" But I digress and I get back to the Rise of the Skywalker. I feel it was a if they're saying that they're closing up the Skywalker saga, what George Lucas started from 1977 to now, I feel it was pretty respectful. It's not no uh, Avengers Endgame respectful, but it showed a lot of respect for the creator of this brand, the creator of these movies, the creator of, all of this stuff that we go to see in the movies every other Christmas. I do feel that I would have liked to see it in the summertime for some strange reason. But it's Hollywood, and they're doing things to not so much please the fans, but to take care of their bottom line, which is money. Um, didn't really sneaky forced gay agenda at the end with the two girls kissing really wasn't needed. You know what I'm saying? Just like something to put in there to try to show that they are representing all people. Didn't really like the interaction or the Ray and Finn. I want to be with you. I want to tell you something. Something's always getting in the way. Poe being a cock blocker, and then they throwing in just another black girl. It's like, okay, we're gonna, because it seemed like they tried to push Finn off of Ray and put him onto Rose. But in this movie, it's like, okay, we're going to give you a African American British, or she has one of those British accents, leading lady to mirror your part in this saga. Um, to me, it feels like J.J. Abrams knows how to tell a better story than Ryan Johnson ever did or ever tried to. It's like, to be honest, we need an episode 10. or we could have had, this movie could have. It seemed like they knew they had to wrap up the whole saga in episode 9, but they could have did two separate movies. It should have been, to me, it could have been a episode 9 and episode 10, or episode 9 part 1 and episode 9 part 2, whatever. Don't judge me. But the way that J.J. Abrams structured this movie and introduced new characters, but it didn't seem forced, and they kind of represented themselves, or they kind of defined themselves in the acting and through the script, without just looking like the general, what was the name, the general Odo or Hodo, like you're just there for no reason and you're filling in blanks, but you really, you die, and people really don't miss you because they really don't know you, so they can't really miss something they don't know. But overall, I'm gonna go see it again. It's one of those things that it's like, I respect the way I respect the way that J.J. Abrams took this last movie and tried to make it honorable and bring it back all the way around 360. You know what I'm saying? With uh the Lando, and they had the old dude from the New Hope. I think it was Wedge. He was in there. He was old as hell. You know what I'm saying? It all in all, without giving too much of it away, it was a decent movie. I would go see it again. I'm going to buy it when it comes on Blu-ray by default, but it will be a movie that I would watch. I wish that that would have been episode 8, and then we could have had another episode 9, but we got to play the cards that we're dealt. Look, you had people online that was upset about the movie, and you're gonna have the haters at the end of the day that's gonna be real judgmental and nitpick every little thing, because that's what the Star Wars and the Star Trek fans do. But it's not a bad movie. It starts off, look, I think everybody that goes to see this movie that didn't like The Last Jedi, like a lot of people didn't, are going to brace themselves for the first hour and a half, because we are looking at the movie off of an expectation of what we just prior saw. So we're like, and then and the funny thing is, everybody's complaining online about this so-called third act that was so horrible, and it wasn't horrible. It good movie. J.J. Abrams, he brought it home again. He should have did the whole daggone trilogy. He should have just did the whole trilogy, instead of Disney giving that daggone The Last Jedi to Ryan Johnson. He should have just did the whole fucking trilogy. It would have been a better outcome, and it would have been something that, for Disney's bottom line, would have brought much more money to their bottom line. The fans would have been happier. And look, go see the movie. I enjoyed it. I can't. I'm not gonna. I really didn't have any problems with it. You had the little gay kiss at the end with the white girl and the other white girl. It's like, okay, y'all just pushing that issue. Um, Carrie Fisher was dead, so they had to work with how they had to work with it, and it worked so well. So it was like, okay, but I wish that, all I wish that J.J. Abrams would have directed episode 8, or somebody else would have just directed episode 8 and made a better movie that would seem to flow. Because it seemed like we got episode 7. People will complain about it, but they won't dislike it. They're, the nitpickers of Star Wars. Then we got episode 8. It's like, what the fuck is this clusterfuck? And then we got episode 9, and it's like, that's how you gonna end it. Understand you gotta end it. You said you're gonna end it, but the movie ain't that bad. We want more. Now it seems like we want more. At the end of episode 8, it was like, now we just can't wait till this shit is gonna end. But now, once the product is out, I think this is going to be one of those Star Wars movies that is going to be like the Michael Jackson Thriller album. Not saying it's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but when it dropped and it dropped today, it's going to gain momentum and it's going to pique people's interest and it's going to get people out there to come up with their own conclusion, and they're going to take what they like out of it, they're going to take what they don't like out of it, but it's not going to be the same as it was with The Last Jedi, where everybody was just like, what the fuck is this? Then you got the diehard fans that's like, The Last Jedi could have been a movie that had cats chasing balls of yarn for 2 hours and a half, and they would have just went with it just because it's another Star Wars movie. Go see it. I liked it. I'm going to go see it again. Rails Rants Reloaded, Star Wars Edition, Rise of the Skywalker. Subscribe, share. I appreciate y'all. Peace.